Okay, I think this is the one I haven't started with. Can we duo? No. I don't play the game near enough, and I play it super casually as well. I like get like arcade loot boxes, and that's basically that's my playing the game. Um, Latro Twitch, no. Good luck finding it. I'm coaching a gold team, and we constantly struggle against pharmacy, especially when they run tanks like Ryan Zarya and Ana all the way in the back. I talked about the fact that they dedicating a mercy pocket means that they have less ground presence, and we could just rush the people on the ground, but still struggle. And heroes are just hard. Well, here's the thing: rush. You can definitely kill the Ryan Zarya because they've left resources on the ground. Yeah, but if you just rush them like by turning off your brain, then the pharmacy is going to shoot you all in the back, and you're going to lose. So probably the best way to deal with a pharmacy comp with Ryan Zarya is to play like a spammier comp than them and make the Ryan Zarya just kind of sit there and just hold shield. Because like you can like if you ran like your own pharmacy but with like an Orisa Sigma or like a Diva or Ryan Diva or something like that, like you would be able to put a lot of resources into that pharmacy, and the Ryan Zarya would just have to stand there and look awkward. Like the Zarya only contributes because the bubble on the barrages, right? They don't do a whole lot of they don't do a lot. I do quick play. I played like I hard grinded rank, played 0 quick play for like 7 months, got to like 4.1k, and then I quit. I don't take the game seriously enough anymore. But yeah, I would also like at a goal level. This is like a side note, but don't worry so much about countering enemy compositions as much. Maybe like swaps 1 or 2, but I'd focus more on like practicing learning a composition, like practicing brawl or like not one tricking it necessarily, but like I wouldn't try and always counter enemy compositions. Like low SR players are so obsessed with like countering and like counter picking when they just need to learn how to play together better and like learn the game more. So like learning the game isn't always just about like the counter swaps as a team. It would be better if you guys like played brawl and had a couple of swaps into dive, a couple of swaps into spam, and a couple of swaps into brawl mirror, and just focus on learning how to play around that than it would be to like hard counter a specific composition. That's my opinion anyway. But yeah, like brawl in the pharmacy only works if you guys like rotate in a way or move your tanks in a way to where the pharmacy can't shoot you while you're rotating. And then you rush the Ryan Zarya at like full HP. But if you're just rushing it down main, the pharmacy is going to shoot you in the back, and then you're going to get to the Ryan, but you're going to be like half HP, and it's not going to work. I mean, how many hours do you think there's diminishing returns of grinding practicing? I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of it depends on cultural and like mental fortitude, because there's like Korean players that can grind like 12 hours a day, and that's totally fine. Yeah, thanks. They can grind like 12 hours a day, but that's because they've been doing that similar things like that for like basically their entire life. Like the whole Eastern culture is like built around that. But for some people, like grinding like 5-6 hours a day is like max. It just depends on a person by person, and it is something that you can train. So it's not like, oh, that's just how I am. I'm just, I can only do 3 or 4 hours before I start losing focus. You can improve that, but I wouldn't do way too much because you're gonna burn yourself out. Like it's like starting working out. You wouldn't start working out like 3 hours a day as a New Year's resolution. You'd start 15 minutes, and just make yourself do 15 minutes every single day. And then maybe if you start like enjoying it, and you start enjoying the results, maybe do 20 minutes and 30 minutes and 40 minutes, but you don't just jump right in. And a lot of it also is like Korean players want to be pros, so they're willing to put the time in. Do you want to be a pro at Overwatch? Like, is that what you want? Is that what you really, really want? Like, what level, how many hours are you willing to spend and put in to chase something that you're interested in? How does Ball outclass Winston and dive? I mean, Ball outclasses Winston dive because he can stage backline and flank a lot quicker and a lot easier while taking less damage. Winston is really good, like once he's in the midst of things, but it's difficult for him, especially with Echo and Tracer meta, for him to get on flanks without taking damage. Like you could just have a Tracer Harmony Orb and permanently on your Winston, and he just can't do anything. Like he just is constantly taking damage. So Ball is just fast. He doesn't have a head hitbox. He's got adaptive shields. He doesn't demand healing. And even when he does commit, he can also leave again. So I wouldn't say Ball is like OP right now, but he's the tank that's benefiting the most from the amount of DPS that's meta right now. I have a question about Winston versus Ashe, often with a Mercy. How do you handle an Ashe Mercy and a dominant high ground such as Gibraltar be jumper, and she coach guns and dies to jump, so coordinate without leave of all? I mean, a lot of it is coordination and timing. A lot of it is also going to be flanking and being unexpected. If you just dive her from main, then yeah, it's the easiest coach gun in the world. So you need to like find a way to get underneath her and maybe flank and then like jump from below, or maybe you force her off of high ground and then you just drop and then you take high ground 2 seconds later. Yeah, it's not an easy situation, but if you're more patient, time it better. If you're utilizing flanks so that you're a little bit less predictable, and honestly, if you're just forcing her to look at you, it's not always she might be impossible to get off by a solo Winston. Like Ashe plus Mercy is 2 people. You are just Winston. So if you're not able to do it by yourself, then don't be surprised. It is going to take a team effort. to get her off of high ground. What's the fastest way to increase game sense for a beginner? I mean, probably like, I mean, getting into VOD reviewing would be like the fast return on investment. Like VOD review things, like once every couple of days, just look over one of your VODs, be like, hey, is there a better place for me to position myself? Could I have used my cooldowns better? Am I doing the right thing here? And just ask yourself that question. You know, don't spend hours watching VODs, just self-feedback, and you'll learn. And then you'll like build game sense from that. Like, hey, oh yeah, into the ball, I should probably not be by myself. Or, you know, there's a Widowmaker here, so I should probably not do that. So just like practice asking yourself questions and self-reviewing. And don't worry so much about like watching pro VODs or pro streams. Like that'll come down the road a little bit, but even then, like it's so self-feedback is so much more beneficial in the short term. And honestly long term as well. How does Sigma ball comp work? I mean, we kind of talked about this on stream. I did the review, but it's basically just like ball and tracer clear out. You basically fight for angles, and you fight for angles so that your ball tracer can dive their backline. But you can't just dive their backline until you clear out their angles first. So you need to beat their ball tracer, and if you beat their ball tracer or their echo, or kill them, then you can dive backline. I don't want to answer all this because I answered so much of this in depth on the VOD. If you guys want to see it on YouTube. I'm the captain of your high school's Overwatch team, which I created this last year. Hey, Ender. We're on break right now. We look at again. We did, however, just get another main tank player, who's admittedly better than me, and it would be fair to him to put myself in the starting roster over him. For the reason, I'm going to try and coach my team instead. I know nothing like this idea where to start. I would say the first thing I would do is just get a routine going for your guys, like a routine. In other words, like set a number of scrims that you guys get per week, a number of reviews that you guys do per week. Have some sort of goal, and then set some goals for your team, and encourage everybody to keep practicing those goals. Like that right there is the best thing you can do with the easiest amount of like effort. All right, guys, so we're going to be doing like 4 or 5 scrims a week. We're going to be doing like 1 or 2 VOD reviews a week, and then we're going to try, everybody try and get like an hour of ranked in a day, and let's see if we can let's set a goal that we're going to get a lot better at our ult tracking and planning, or we're going to be better at like our target focus, or we're going to be better at like work on. I mean, honestly, a goal can just be that we have a consistent week of scrims. That's a goal, and that we put in maximum effort in every scrim. Just work on setting small goals and structural stuff, and don't worry so much about like the details. That they will come down the road. What's the difference between playing ball and scrims teams like contenders and playing them in ranked? In ball and scrim teams, like you can communicate like your engagement and your timings a lot clearer, and you can ask for resources to clear out angles and stuff, and like kind of like let you know your intention. In ranked, you can do the same, but it's not always a guarantee. Ranked, you have to pay more attention to what your team's doing. Like we saw today in the GM Reinhardt VOD, our Reinhardt was playing where he knew he needed to be, but his team was not. So it ended up being his mistake that he wasn't paying attention to what his team was doing. Whereas in scrims, if your Ryan's playing up, like you just say, yo, I want to play here. Come on, guys. And then, that would happen. Can I coach you in Calc 3? No. I coached calculus, or tutored calculus, like, I don't even know, 10 years ago. Was rough, was tough. And there's no way I could do it now. It's been way too long. Nata released a good video on it. It was at the 15-minute one. I thought it was pretty good. It's about like clearing angles and stuff. I thought it was pretty good, yeah.